What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prize Picks NBA player props video. This one going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 3 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prize Picks in the NBA tonight. Excited to get into it. We got NBA back. It seems like it's been a long wait. I know a lot of people are excited to have it back. I am as well. If you have not checked out Prizepicks, would highly recommend you check them out. It is a player props website and app where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like players' points, rebounds, assists, points, rebounds, assists, fantasy score, three-pointers made, etc. Go ahead and use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100 today. Again, that is code KJK DFS. Go ahead and lock that in. Get that free money offer and start winning some money over here on Prizepicks with these picks today, guys. And if you are going to be very serious, would highly recommend you check out my premium content package. Today would be a great day to join. We have a massive slate. I have been finding a ton of value. 9 games fresh off the All-Star break. You know, there's not going to be as much crazy injury news. You can check out I do offer Prizepicks college basketball packages now, as well as Prizepicks NBA, Underdog NBA. And if you want access to every single one of my picks for all sports that I cover and all apps, the VIP member package is where it's going to be at. You're going to get a whole lot more. I've been sending in a ton of value alerts, a ton of tickets to start things out. You're going to need access to my VIP core play tiers. I'm going to break down my top plays in tier 1, 2, and 3 so you can prioritize your tickets. I know that's a new feature people have been loving. You're going to get the VIP play of the day, the research tab, and a whole lot more. And I do have a few more sites that I'm going to be adding in here for those tickets. Some new sponsors I'm going to be working with and some more apps providing more picks. So check that out if you're interested. And if you enjoy this content, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It is free. It takes 2 seconds to do. It does greatly help me out, and I will be helping you guys out for free, providing this content for free all NBA season long. So we'll go game by game as we always do. I got 3 fantasy score picks for you guys. I do try to provide fantasy score picks to the public just because they tend to be the ones that don't get bumped the most. So you guys can get these picks in, without those bumps, because bumps do occur on a lot of the picks as far as the other props are concerned. So I'm trying to provide you guys with as much value as I possibly can. Hopefully you can get these picks in at the same line that I'm promoting them at. First game, we got the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Dallas Mavericks. This game comes in with a 239.5 over-under, massive total. And the Dallas Mavs have a huge 126.75 implied team total for good reason. They're taking on a San Antonio Spurs team that has been dreadful defensively all season long. Looking at my defensive half-court and putbacks tool, fresh off the break, we got a whole half of a season under our belt for a sample size. San Antonio ranks dead last in the league, 30th in points per possession rank. They're 30th in half-court points per player rank setting. They got 25th overall in the offensive rebounding percentage rank. Not good. And then when I'm breaking down some other stuff as far as my defensive shooting action sheet, San Antonio also ranks dead last, 30th overall in the league in effective field goal rank. Pretty much every category you could rank in defensively, they're just dreadful. They are 17th in rim rank, allowing opponents to shoot 67.3% around the rim. They're 30th dead last in long mid-range rank, allowing opponents to shoot 49.4% from there. They're dead last in all 3 rank, allowing opponents to shoot 39.8% from the 3-point arc. So San Antonio, not been good defensively. The Dallas Mavericks have a usage beast in Luka Doncic. I know Kyrie Irving's in town now, but I still love Luka tonight, and my projections are really high on him. As far as his fantasy point per minute production on the season, he's got a 1.61 fantasy point per minute rate. That is ridiculously good. He plays in the upper 30s minutes in competitive games, and honestly, the Dallas Mavs tend to leave him in there for an extended period of time, even when the game's trying to kind of getting out of hand. So these are all things that I like to see when targeting a guy, of course. Last time he took on this same San Antonio Spurs team, he went out there and put up 86 fantasy points. The Spurs are allowing a ton of assists to opposing point guards. They're allowing a ton of everything to opposing point guards. And we know Luka does it all. You can see his game logs. No surprise if you've been watching this guy for a long time, or if you just have any NBA knowledge. He's going to score, he's going to assist, he's going to rebound, he's going to do all those. And then those blocks and steals, of course, don't hurt our feelings either. 4 steals last time out, 1 steal the time prior, 2-2. Not the biggest stocks guy, honestly. But just naturally being out there on the floor for so long, he will get some of those stock stats as well. And simply put, my projection model weighs every single one of these things in. And I am very, very high on him. I've got him projected in the low to mid 60s from a base projection aspect tonight. And he's got a ceiling of 70 plus, as we've seen him do many times. Wasn't having the hottest of stretch here as far as his games before the All-Star break. But just keep in mind, guys, kind of right before the All-Star break, players do tend to wear down a little bit. He got that nice break that he needed. First game back, I think he's going to be freshly energized. And you cannot ask for a better game to be back, or a better opponent to really have a big game than the San Antonio Spurs. So I am really high on Luka Doncic tonight. Love his fantasy score prop. Once again, I've got him projected in low to mid-60s. That's a big difference in base projection. Anytime you're getting a guy, 5, 6 off the base projection, as far as prize picks, they're very, very good at setting these lines. It's not always the case that you can get that. A lot of times, if there's an edge on the fantasy score, you might only be talking like 2, 3 fantasy score difference. So certainly love this pick for pick number 1. We're going with the over 55.5 fantasy score here for Luka Doncic. That will be pick number 1. Pick number 2, we're going to kick it over to this other game environment. That's going to be great. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Utah Jazz. 240 over under, 1-point spread in favor of the Oklahoma City Thunder is expected to stay close, is expected to fly for a good reason. You look at the pace for these teams, going to be fast. Oklahoma City Thunder are third in the entire league with a 102.15 pace metric. The Utah Jazz coming as the 14th fastest paced team in the league with a 100.35 pace metric. So that's really good. The other thing I should mention on that San Antonio Spurs front is the Spurs are also the 7th fastest paced team in the league. You look at the Mavs, they play really slow. They're the 2nd slowest. So that's something to throw in there. This game, going to be great. 240 over under, and I got a guy projected way higher than what Prizepicks has today, and it is Jalen Williams. He has been a fan favorite all season long for a lot of people I know because he's been crushing his fantasy score prop. And the guy can do it in so many different ways for you. So I definitely want to have a little bit of a discussion about him. 0.87 fantasy points per minute on the season for Jalen Williams. And you look at how he gets the job done. You want to talk about a guy that does get a lot of stocks. Jalen Williams is certainly your guy. He's going to get you a lot of steals, a lot of blocks, and he's very well-rounded in his statistics outside of those. Last time against Houston, that game turned into a massive blowout. Last game before the All-Star break, he didn't put up a big game long, so don't even look at that one that much. Time prior, though, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, 22 points. Time prior, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 13 points. Time prior, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 steals, 1 block, 25 points. That's the kind of upside that he has in the steals and blocks category. He's been doing it all season long, and it's not like he's so reliant on that. He does it in so many other ways. He's been crushing his fantasy score line all season long. Once again, the Jazz play at a fast pace. Not too worried about them defensively. And if I had to pick one guy on this entire slate that my projections just disagree with in a major, major way, it's going to be Jalen Williams with his 26 fantasy score. I've got him projected. I mean, we just talked about, Luka, but as far as where I've got Jalen Williams, I've got him projected in the low 30s. I've got him in 33 plus. That's 7 fantasy score projection difference off of the Prizepicks line here today, which once again is very, very rare. I couldn't quite believe it when I pulled up where his line was at. This should definitely be in the upper 20s, if not into the 30s, if not, 30 in my opinion. In a 240 over under, we just talked about how many different ways he can provide fantasy points. And as you look at his fantasy point per minute production, we talked about it. 0.87 fantasy points per minute. You do the math. He's been playing in the mid to upper 30s. A lot of times in competitive games, you can see him, he played 39 minutes. If the guy's going to play 39 minutes, he puts up a little bit under, a fantasy point per minute. Actually, he's going to be in the 30s for sure. He's probably going to be in the mid to upper 30s. I think this fantasy score line's a big mistake. He's averaging 34.9 over his last 5. Love this pick for sure. For pick number 2, we're going with the over 26 fantasy score here for Jalen Williams. That will be pick number 2. And then pick number 3, we're going to kick it on down to this last game. It's the Golden State Warriors taking on the LA Lakers. This game, once again, should fly. Top 2 teams in the league in pace. A 102.97 pace metric for the Warriors. A 102.37 pace metric for the Los Angeles Lakers. So, can't ask for a better game environment than this, quite literally, from a pace aspect. And the LA Lakers made some big moves. They got a different team, and they got a brand new point guard here in D'Angelo Russell, and I think he's going to fit into this new squad very, very well, and I think he's simply misunderpriced once again in the fantasy score aspect. Now, keep in mind, he's on a different team, of course, so, this fantasy point rate isn't going to be completely accurate, but it'll give you an overall kind of idea as far as D'Angelo Russell is putting up 1 fantasy point per minute on the season. He's playing in the low 30s. So, you do the math. If he's going to play 30-plus minutes, he's putting up 1 fantasy point per minute, and that's going to put him in the 30s as far as his fantasy score is concerned. You look at what he did last time out for the Lakers, only played 28 minutes. Once again, I would expect him to be playing in the 30s for sure for this Lakers squad. And he gets a lot of attention taken off him with the court being filled with he's surrounded by LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's going to make D'Angelo Russell the 3rd option as far as offensively, but I think he's really going to shine in this role, man, because he's definitely got a lot of talent. You put 2 guys that the defense has to concentrate on outside of D'Angelo Russell, I think he's going to get a lot of assists, a lot of buckets, a lot of statistics all around. The Golden State Warriors have been giving up a lot of points to opposing point guards. As far as the Golden State Warriors are concerned, on the season. Can't be a better matchup. 38.3 fantasy points per game. The point guard started 7.2 assists per game and 7.4 field goals per game for the Golden State Warriors. So they've been giving up a ton of points. We just talked about the fast up-tempo game environment. We talked about the new acquisition of D'Angelo Russell. I do think he's going to have a really big role. Do think he's going to shine in this role. A lot of assists. And that fantasy point production, once again, I do think Prizepicks has his line too low. 28.5 fantasy score. He put up 35.9 that last time for this Lakers squad, and that was against a Pels team that I guarantee that game did not have as high of a total as a 238.5. Lakers are actually favored by 6 in this one against a Warriors team that, a lot of times prior to these acquisitions probably would have been favored pretty easily against the Lakers. They're healthy. And I just talked about it. This Golden State Warriors team is just giving up a ton of fantasy points. He's surrounded by a ton of talent. He's got the low, big, and Anthony Davis. I'm sure he's going to be dishing a lot of assists too. LeBron James taking the attention off him as well. He's going to have a lot of open shots, I think. And I do think he's going to crush this fantasy squad. I've got him projected in the mid-30s. 28.5, simply too low. Just talked about his rates. For pick number 3, we're going with the over 28.5 fantasy score here for D'Angelo Russell, and that will be my 3 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks in the NBA tonight, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you have not checked out the premium content packages, I don't know what you're waiting on. NBA is back. It is a perfect time to hop in here. The Discord's going crazy today with alerts from myself. NBA is back. There's so many different props to like, and I got a lot in play tonight for sure. So a lot more than these 3 picks over there. Would love to have you join. It's all for me in this one. Wishing you guys all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NBA player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.